Let's jump right in. Today we're doing a deep dive into something really interesting. 50 years of innovation in Indian agriculture. We're going to uncover some amazing success stories and even take a peek into the future of farming.
And our guide for this journey, the March 2024 special issue of Indian Farming magazine. They're celebrating 50 years of Krishi Vigyan Kendra's KVKs, for short, and it's packed with incredible insights.
Yeah. I mean, who knew a magazine could be this captivating? It's like a time capsule showing us the progress of agriculture. We're talking real farmers, real problems they faced, and some seriously clever solutions they came up with.
It's amazing to see how this issue highlights the evolution of KVKs. You see, when the first one started back in 1974, it was mainly about vocational training. Now, they've become these dynamic hubs where scientists and farmers connect and make things happen.
It's like they're bridging the gap between all that high-tech research and what's actually going on out there in the fields. And the issues they're tackling, climate change, market access, big stuff. But you know what really amazed me? Those stories about simple, affordable solutions that are making a huge difference.
Absolutely. A perfect example is of that farmer in Punjab who found a way to deal with paddy straw without burning it.
Hold on, before you go on, can you explain the issue with burning paddy straw? Some of us don't have farms in Punjab.
Of course. After harvesting rice, farmers are left with a ton of straw. Burning it seems like the easiest way to get rid of it, but it creates a lot of air pollution and destroys important nutrients in the soil. It's a big problem, especially in northwestern India.
Got it. Thanks for explaining. So back to that Punjab farmer.
Right. He's using something called the surface seeding cum mulching technique, developed by Sunil Kumar and Dr. Gurbachan Singh. Instead of burning the straw, they've got this special machine that sows the next crop directly into the soil while spreading the straw as mulch.
So they're turning something they didn't want into something super useful. That's brilliant.
Exactly. And the best part, it's a pretty simple technique. Doesn't need expensive equipment. So even small-scale farmers can use it. And that's a game changer, especially in a place like India where many farmers struggle to make ends meet.
It's incredible how these simple innovations can tackle so many problems at once. Less pollution, healthier soil, and more money for farmers.
And it doesn't stop there. This issue of Indian farming is full of examples like this. Remember that article on boosting makhana production?
Wait, you mean foxnuts? The ones you find in Indian sweets?
Yep, those are the ones. India is actually the world's leading producer of makhana. And get this, KVKs are helping farmers increase their yields significantly through better varieties and nutrient management. We're talking a 41% yield increase, which is huge.
That's massive. And what about the use of drones in agriculture? It seems like KVKs are really tech-savvy, using drones for pest control and even helping with crop insurance claims.
It's fascinating how they're combining traditional knowledge with advanced technologies. For example, the Agricultural Technology Application Research Institute, Atari Poon, has been doing these drone demonstrations for farmers, showing them what's possible with precision agriculture.
It sounds like KVKs are really pushing the boundaries in Indian agriculture.
They are, and we've only scratched the surface. What really makes KVKs stand out is their focus on empowering communities, and we'll explore that more in depth in a bit.
It's easy to get caught up in all the cool technology, but at the end of the day, it always comes back to the people, right? And going through these stories, it really hits you the way KVKs are changing lives, especially for women farmers.
Absolutely. And these aren't just, feel-good stories. They show us a bigger picture of women becoming leaders in Indian agriculture. Like, take the story of Preti Patravedi. That one really stayed with me.
Oh, you mean the woman from Sitapur, the one who went from barely feeding her family to running a successful agribusiness.
That's the one. She credits the training from KVK2, Sitapur, for giving her the skills and the confidence to turn things around. And her story, it's not one of a kind. More and more women are finding their footing as, agri-entrepreneurs, and KVKs are a big part of that.
It's pretty remarkable how a little knowledge and support can make such a difference. And it's not just about business either. Speaking of inspiring stuff, what did you think about that millet recipe contest in Jharkhand? Such a cool way to promote sustainable eating.
Oh, that piece definitely caught my eye too. And you're right, it wasn't just about the recipes themselves. It was interesting how they tied those dishes back to the cultural history of millets in Jharkhand. Did you read the part about madua?
Madua, you mean a specific type of millet? Tell me more.
So it turns out madua is really important in Jharkhand's indigenous communities. They use it for everything. Everyday meals, special occasions, you name it. Actually, 90% of the women they talked to for the article said they use madua specifically for important festivals like Karma and Jatiya.
90%. That really shows how much food and culture are intertwined, doesn't it?
It does. Makes you wonder why millets aren't more popular, given how resilient and nutritious they are. They can grow in tough conditions, packed with nutrients, and they're relatively easy on the environment. It's like a win-win-win.
You're telling me I'm already thinking I need to eat more millets. But on the topic of sustainability, the article also mentioned how growing millet can actually help with habitat conservation and biodiversity. It's like KVKs are connecting agriculture, culture, and the environment in a really impactful way.
Exactly. And it's not just about promoting one specific crop like millets. KVKs are helping farmers all over India adapt to a changing world, whether it's by using climate-resilient technologies, exploring the potential of underutilized crops, or encouraging sustainable farming practices in general.
It's clear they're playing a crucial role in shaping the future of Indian agriculture, but it's not all smooth sailing, is it?
Hmm.
The articles also touch upon some big challenges that are still out there, like climate change, water scarcity, and making sure farmers have fair access to markets.
You're absolutely right. Those challenges aren't going away anytime soon. Take climate change, for instance. That article about climate-resilient technologies in Chittor district was really eye-opening. It makes you realize what farmers are up against.
It's easy to think of climate change as some far-off problem, but for a lot of farmers, it's already affecting their lives.
Right.
Droughts, floods, unpredictable weather, it all takes a toll.
Exactly. And that's where KVKs come in, introducing farmers to things like drought-tolerant crops, water-efficient irrigation, and other climate-smart methods. They're helping farmers adapt and build resilience in the face of these challenges.
It's like they're on the front lines of climate action, equipping farmers with the tools and knowledge they need to navigate a changing world. And it's not just about adapting to what's happening now. They're looking ahead, too. That piece about underutilized crops in the Northeast really sparked my interest.
Oh, mine too. That was a fascinating read. It really highlighted the incredible diversity in India's agricultural history and how many forgotten foods are out there just waiting to be rediscovered.
It's like a gold mine of culinary possibilities, each with its own flavors, health benefits, and cultural significance.
Exactly. And some of these underutilized crops could be the key to things like fighting malnutrition and creating new economic opportunities, especially in rural communities. Just think about it. Crops that thrive in tough environments, resist pests and diseases, and are packed with nutrients, that's a gold mine.
And KVKs seem to be in a unique position to help unlock that potential. They have the connections with researchers, the understanding of local conditions, and most importantly, the trust of the farmers. They can really bridge the gap between scientific knowledge and actually making it work in the real world.
Precisely. They're not just promoting these crops, they're connecting farmers with the resources and support to actually grow them successfully.
It's exciting to think about, but it also makes you wonder,
Yeah.
it really gets you thinking with challenges like climate change and making sure everyone has enough to eat. What does the future hold for Indian agriculture?
Big question, and honestly, there's no easy answer. But looking at this issue of Indian farming, I've got to say there's reason to be hopeful.
I see what you mean. Reading all these stories, it's obvious Indian agriculture has come a long way, even just in 50 years. The Green Revolution, the rise of the KVKs. There's this amazing spirit of innovation and resilience.
For sure. And we can't forget that Indian farmers are already on the front lines, right? They're adapting to the changing climate, trying out new crops and techniques, finding ways to feed more and more people.
Like they say, necessity is the mother of invention. And speaking of those underutilized crops we were talking about, that feels like a whole new world of possibilities in agriculture. Who knows what amazing things are out there waiting to be discovered?
Exactly. And with the KVKs playing such a vital role in connecting the research with real-world farming, there's a real chance to bring those discoveries to light and make a real impact.
It's not just about, growing more food or coming up with fancy technologies. It's about building a food system that's stronger, more sustainable, fairer for everyone. And that's something worth getting excited about.
I couldn't agree more. And for anyone listening who wants to learn more about where Indian agriculture is headed, this special issue of Indian farming is a great place to start. It's a real tribute to the hard work and ingenuity of Indian farmers and everyone supporting them.
Well said. And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the world of KVKs and Indian agriculture. We've covered a lot, from climate-smart farming to those forgotten foods, and it's clear that the next 50 years will be just as fascinating and game-changing as the last.
Absolutely. The future of Indian agriculture is full of potential, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens.
Me too. This has been an inspiring conversation, really got me thinking. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
My pleasure.